So even though the demographic shift's happening all across the country, and even though, Latinos and Latinas all across the country are getting organized, and beyond getting organized, I think the country's sort of whole ideal of immigration has shifted completely.
Oh, a lot. Like, you really have the fringe that is, like, fair, the crazy right-wingers and Lou Dobbs, and then you have everyone else.
Of course, and let's take a listen to what happened earlier at Congress this week.
The gentleman from California, Mr. Issa, is recognized for 5 minutes.
So, well, that was a number of Latinos and Latinas and some folks from the API community who were actually in the chamber who said they're undocumented and unafraid of being of deportation because they understand that the whole ideal and the climate has shifted. And the funny thing about it is, if you folks should check this clip out or Google it or whatever, is that during this hearing we saw Republicans go as far to the right on immigration as possible, to the point where they're saying, well, if we open up our borders, there's no way America can hold 6 billion people.
No one's coming in the country at this point, though, is the fact they miss.
Of course.
Is that net, like from Mexico and South America, our net immigration right now is 0.
Yeah, and it might be even negative with the fact that the president's increasing deportations. Right? So...
Not a real issue.
But for all those folks out there who are dreamers, and I give them big shout-outs because they've been pushing for this for years and years and years and years on end. They've been pushing for immigration reform. They've been pushing for it. They're at the point where they're almost at the crescendo of their movement. I mean, I think their movement has reached this sort of crescendo point where the only thing that can come from here is success.
And I think the tipping point was Antonio Vargas, the Time magazine article where he's like, I'm an undocumented immigrant.
Yeah. And I think that was a tipping point, and I would say that I think the denouement for those literary folks out there was the fact that 70% of Latinos voted for the president.
Right.
And I think so now the climate's ripe for change, and I think the fact that it was more that, like, and if you watch this clip, there's at least 20 to 30 of these undocumented and unafraid people at a Republican ran committee saying, we're undocumented, we're unafraid, we're going to get immigration done. And the fact that the Republicans even having a hearing on it sort of speaks volumes as to the shift in the culture and the shift in the population and the shift of where the American people are in immigration reform.
And I think one of the reasons they voted for Obama, too, in such high numbers was because they trust this guy with his background to do immigration reform right.
Of course. And I think beyond that, I think, they're to some extent, they're being helped by the fact that in the Senate they have people like Senator Menendez. And to some extent, even Marco Rubio is sort of part of the conversation. As much as we don't like Marco, don't like him.
But he also sees it like Chris Christie sees the writing on the wall. You got to move way to center if you're going to actually not just win a Republican primary,
but be a regular, normal party,
but be able to actually win give someone a fight in a general election.
I hear you. Well, hopefully we'll see immigration reform soon. But shout out to all those dreamers. I support you on the Richard Fowler Show. We're undocumented and we're unafraid. Yeah!